All right. You good?
Yeah, can you see? Is the lighting good? Yeah.
Yep. Hello, Karen Gagnier. I so grateful that you're able to join us for the Work from Home Self Care Conference. Karen's from Movement RX Studios, and just so appreciative. I know we've been talking about different ways of integrating small doses of daily self care, and I know we're going to get into some mind body demonstrations and connection with that. But I was very inspired about your story and how you got connected with this.
Mhm. Yeah, so I was a runner and I had some dancing background, and a friend wanted me to do yoga. And I thought, oh, it's just too boring to sit around and breathe. But I finally gave in and I started to notice major changes just in flexibility. But then my mother got cancer, and then I got cancer. And I noticed that yoga was an amazing tool for me to deal with all the things that you need to deal with, both the physical as well as the mental and the emotional piece of this. So that was 12 years ago. And I decided to take that the great experience meaning the recovery, which I had surgery, I had chemotherapy, and I was able to recover because of the yoga. So I started teaching cancer survivors. I then got involved with, we just had the conversation about trauma and underserved populations in general, but I've expanded into corporate wellness as well because when I became a yoga therapist, people, what is a yoga therapist? It's just a person who can help you to identify what your needs are and then finding these little tools that you spoke about that you can integrate into your life. So that's another thing that I do. So happy to be here, happy to share what I have experienced firsthand myself.
Such an inspiring story. Thank you for that. So, for those of us who have been working from home over the past year or so, or even longer than that, tension can kind of set in our bodies. I happen to be one that sits in a chair for long periods of time, doing some teaching. I know some others may be kind of locked into a space because of the lockdown and the pandemic. And so, when we really start to feel that tension and start to understand that we may have some power to do some things for ourselves throughout the day to try to meet the needs of what we're feeling.
Mhm. Yep. And what's interesting to me is that it doesn't have to be this big thing, a big deal. You don't have to take the hour-long class. You can integrate these small little tools, which will make a difference. And the first step, as you mentioned, is this identification of tension, noticing that you are tense, yet you've got your shoulders up by your ears. And once we start with that, we can then experiment with different tools.
Okay, so I'm ready. I know we're going to do some demonstrations,
Yeah.
and I'm going to commit to really locking into some of these because this chair stuff is really kind of speaking to me.
Yes, I'm with you. So I thought I'd do three very quick tools if you don't have a lot of time, and then we'll do a yoga, chair yoga class, if that's okay. So the first one is incredibly simple. You've been sitting all day. You just need to get out of the chair. I hope everybody can see me. Your feet are a little bit wider than hip width. Your knees are soft, and you just simply start twisting in a relaxed fashion. Yeah, great, Marty. Yes. What I love about this is you can interpret this twist any way you want. You can bend your knees and straighten one and then the other. You can give yourself a little massage by taking your one hand to your shoulder and giving it just a little bit of, yep, that's it. And then my favorite part of this is called empty suit, which is a reminder when you're really little and your dad had those suits and you're slinging them all around and brings a smile to your face. You've got it. We're just going to take a couple more full cycles of breath here. Even hot as you do it. And that's it.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's tool number one. So simple. So, when we're sitting all day, the spine is in one position, and that twisting of the spine brings circulation to the spine, which helps with circulation, digestion, and even immune function. So we talk about your immune system, you need to get circulation, and that's an excellent one. The second one is as simple as if it's inappropriate and you are at home, take off your shoes. If you wear shoes, Get barefoot, right now I'm wearing just flip-flops. I can just take them off or take off your sneakers, wiggle your toes. Make sure that you have an upright seat. So you might want to just check in with your posture. And then we're going to coordinate breath with movement. So we're going to inhale through the nose as you take your hands all the way up. Big, deep inhale here. And as you exhale through your nose, take the hands down. That's it. I'm going to do that 2 more times. Nice, deep inhale. Long, slow exhale through the nose. 1 more time. Nice, deep inhale. And a long, slow exhale. Hold here, close your eyes, and just notice how the body feels. Take a moment to think of one word. I like to call it an intention for the rest of your day. So how do you want to move through the rest of your day? If you were feeling tired, maybe it's the word energy, or maybe you were worked up and you need to be calm. So just find a word, let it resonate, let it settle, and then just open your eyes and start your work again. So that's another quickie. Last quick one is some breath work. So in yoga, we inhale and exhale through the nose, and we try to grow our breath. It's called deep diaphragmatic breathing, and it's really the answer to all of your woes. I'm a big breath believer, and now the evidence is there that if we can breathe into our bellies and we can breathe fully, we activate the parasympathetic brain, which is the opposite of the fight or flight. So we're all stressed. We need to very simply start breathing in and out through the nose, expanding the belly, and it can actually change the way you feel. And so this is a mindfulness tool. As we inhale and exhale through the nose, you're going to use your hand. Some people need this just as a way to anchor their attention. So it's just a quick little exercise. So you're going to take your other hand, use your pointer finger, and you're going to try to inhale for a count of maybe 4. So ideal breathing, according to Dr. Richard Brown, is 5 counts of an inhale and 5 counts of an exhale. But if you're not been practicing a lot of breath work, you might be at 4 or maybe even 3. So don't worry about it. But if you can get to 5, that's great. So you're going to inhale through the nose as you take your pointer finger all the way up to the top of your thumb. And then as you exhale slowly, so go as slow as you can, see if you can get that count of 4 or 5, bring it all the way down. And then you're just going to work like that. As you inhale for a count of 4 or 5, try to coordinate it with the movement of the pointer finger to the top. You reach the top, and then as you exhale slowly, you bring it all the way down. And then you continue working like that. Inhale deeply through the nose. And as you exhale, exhale slowly and completely. You're almost done. Nice deep inhale. Long, slow exhale. Last time, nice deep inhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale completely. You can even do that when we go back to work. You can hide it under your desk. Nobody has to know. It's just a way to make sure that you do that practice of 5 full counts of breath, and you should feel very differently after you complete that exercise. So
And I love the touch. I love the sensory touch as well.
Yeah, some people really like to have something to do and some way to anchor their brain. So that's a little tool. So those were 3 quickies, the empty suit, sun breaths with an intention, and then the finger exercise. Now we're going to take a chair yoga class. And the important thing to note too is as I take you through these movements, you can take 1 or 2 of the movements. You don't have to do this whole class. And one of the things I like to think about in a yoga class is 6 movements of the spine. So before we do the yoga class, I just want to show you the 6 movements. So one movement is a lateral stretch, and that's then the second movement, other lateral stretch. And then we have movement of the spine, cat and cow, that's 3 and 4, flexion, yeah. And then a twist one way and twist the other. So right there, that's 6 movements of the spine. You can do that on your own if you have limited time, but I'm going to take you through a little bit more, just more structured class. So let's start with our posture. We always want to start with our posture because how we hold our bodies oftentimes affect how we feel. So if you've been doing a lot of work at the computer, take that time to really set it up. And we start with the sitting bones. So that's the ground. Feel that. Feel your feet. Press down. Your feet are hip width. Take your hands to the top of your thighs, lengthen the spine, lift the heart, and then close your eyes. So for just a moment, we're going to take in a little inventory of how your body is feeling. So just notice where you might be holding on to tension. So check in with the head and the jaw, the neck, the shoulders, the hips, the legs. Just take a moment to check in. And once we've done that body scan, we're going to take one hand to our belly and we're going to start to work this yogic breathing. As you inhale through the nose, the belly expands. And then as you exhale, the belly contracts. So this is a very important tool. To me, it's the most important, is inhaling and exhaling through the nose. It might be helpful to have a visual of a balloon. So if you inhale, think about the belly and a big balloon expanding. And then as you exhale slowly, the balloon expands. And if it's helpful for you, you can also count the breath. So you might want to count the inhale, see if you can get it to 4 or 5, and the exhale to a count of 4 or 5. So this is the breath that we'll use as we move through these easy, simple poses. Even if you don't do the pose, if you could just keep breathing in this regular way, you'll regulate your nervous system, give yourself an energy boost. And then when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Now, as you inhale through your nose, take your shoulders up to your ears. And as you exhale, draw them back and down as you imagine tension melting. So we'll do that 2 more times. As you inhale through the nose, take your shoulders up by your ears. And as you exhale, drop them back and down. And you do that 1 more time. So this is something you can do in your car. You can do it at your desk. You can do it at the grocery store. Just letting go of tension, actively letting go. Beautiful work. Now on your next inhale, let's take your right hand up. Your left hand is down on your chair for an anchor, and then arc on over. So this is your first movement of the spine, a nice lateral stretch. So you're anchoring down with the right hip so that you can then stretch energetically through the right fingers and make space between the right ribs. So imagine breathing there. Breathe, and then let's just check in with the right wrist. Just use a little movement, like circles or whatever you want. Oftentimes that's helpful when you've been at the computer a lot. And then just check in with your gaze. Look down. As you look down, lead with your nose and maybe look up toward the sky. Beautiful. That's great for neck and head mobility. Come all the way up. Bend at the elbow now. You're going to grab for that left ear. Inhale first to lengthen. So before we do anything, tuck your chin slightly and lengthen the back of the neck. Get long. And then on the exhale, just gently drop that right ear down. Yeah, so we're not forcing. So in yoga, we never force. It's this idea of allowing. You may even close your eyes and use the exhalation to melt. So I like to think about the inhale as an observation tool, noticing where I've got tension. And then I use that long, slow exhalation to melt the tension. Come back up through center. Now take that right hand down, anchor down. Inhale, lift the left hand up. Exhale, arc on over. A second movement of the spine. Press down with the left hip. And then reach energetically through the fingers. Send attention to the left side body. Breathe there. Nice deep inhale. Again, check in with the wrist. Check in with the head and neck by first looking down. And then leading with the nose to look under the armpit toward the sky for 1 more breath. And then come all the way up. Now let's scooch a little forward in your chair and take the left hand behind you. So I'm going to take my left. So I'm mirroring you, by the way. I'm going to take the left hand behind you to really lengthen the spine. Then I'm going to take the right hand and come back to the outside of the left knee. On the inhale, I'm going to think about lengthening. So get really long and tall. And on the exhale, think about the belly, and you're going to twist there as you start twisting to the left. So it's like that. That's the methodology on twist. On the inhale, you lengthen, so you make a little space. And as you exhale, think about the belly twisting there. And then maybe take your gaze all the way back to the left. Take even your eyeballs all the way to the left. It's a little great eye exercise as you take the eyes all the way to the left. For one more breath. And then slowly come through center. Take that right hand behind you. Take the left hand to the outer thigh. So we pause to get long on the inhale. So we coordinate breath with movement. On the inhale, we're making space. And then for the twist, you move as you exhale. So nice deep inhale to lengthen, make space. And you exhale to go a little further. Now play with the gaze. Take the gaze all the way to the right. Good for the head and the neck. Keep the breath fluid and flowing for one more full cycle of breath. And then come through center. I'm going to try to give you the side view for cat and cow. So you can grab on, take this give you a little bit more. So in the side view, I've scooched my butt forward. I'm going to take my hands to my knees. And as I inhale, I'm going to lean forward, squeeze between my shoulder blades, lift my gaze. I've got a nice little curve of the spine here, opening my heart. And as I exhale, I'm going to take my hands and press away and create this C curve as I drop my chin. Oh, getting into the back body. So we're going to move with the breath. As you inhale, come forward, heart forward and up. This is cow pose. Exhale, press away, tuck the tailbone, drop the chin. So just a couple times on your own. You don't have to move with me. Just coming in and out and see if you can do it with the breath. So that the breath is like your music. You create this beautiful melody and rhythm with your breath. Listen to the sound of your breath and make it big and full. That's the magic. That's the magic. That breath. One more time. So that was 6 movements of the spine, but oftentimes with a lot of sitting, your hips get tight. So I'm going to take my left knee and I'm going to pull it in. Hopefully you can see this. Do this. And then I'm going to take my left ankle and place it on the thigh. So be careful here. This is a nice hip opener, but some people's hips are tighter than others. I'm going to gently press my left knee open. And I make sure I'm flexing the left foot because that protects your knee. So if you have any knee issues, you want to be careful. And then you would then think about a nice long spine on the inhale. And then on the exhale, maybe tilt forward. So you might be finding a lot of sensation without tipping at all. I can see Marty saying, yes, I feel it too. So just again, you just are looking for sensation, never forcing, but noticing tension. Identifying tension and then go back to the breath. That nice deep inhale helps you to lengthen the spine, a little more. And then on the exhale, can you imagine melting tension? So if you find it in your hip, I'm feeling it a lot. I'm using my exhalation and my attention to try to soften. You're here for one more breath. And then come up. I'm going to extend that left leg long. So my left foot, if you can see, is flexed. I'm going to pull my hips back, hands to hips, lengthen on the inhale. And then on the exhale, just a gentle fold. So as I press through my left heel, I'm finding some hamstring sensation. And once again, you just want to play with it. You want to find just the right amount of stretch. You're here for one more full cycle of breath. And then slide the left foot down. You're going to pull that right knee up. And take the other side. Take that right ankle, place it on the left thigh. Go slow. Remember to flex the foot. Gently press open the knee. Find the sitting bones. Find the long spine. Take a nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, try to settle. So again, identify tightness. Check in with the breath. Make sure you're continuing with that full, deep, diaphragmatic breathing. That's a practice. One more full cycle of breath. Nice deep inhale. And a long, slow exhalation for this point. Come back up. Extend that right leg long. Press the heel into the floor. Take your hands to your hips. Anchor down with the hips. And inhale, lengthen the spine. So in all of our yoga poses, we think about lengthening the spine. The exact opposite of when you're sitting and you're getting a compressed spine. Every yoga pose on the inhale, you're thinking about lengthening the spine. And then on the exhale, you're settling into sensation, just finding that nice stretch. We're here for one more full cycle of breath. And then slide that right foot in. Last pose is going to be a forward fold. So I'm going to let my chest come closer to my thighs. I'll be beside you. And allow my hands to either drop to the floor, to my ankles, or have my hands crossed. So we know that forward folds are deeply relaxing. So if you're having a stressful day, this pose will pacify your adrenals. You can focus on the exhalation and this sense of letting go. It's a nice way to soothe the nervous system. Very simple, a forward fold. Take in one more full cycle of breath, that nice deep inhale, and that long, slow, luxurious exhale. Let go of something that doesn't serve you right here. And then as you are ready, go slow. You might get a little dizzy. Come all the way up. We're going to end with closing our eyes. And once again, this important skill of self-observation without judgment. So you just want to notice, once again, just how you feel. Check in with the body. See if there's any residual tension in the body. See if you can just melt it. Allow your shoulders to be heavy. And then come back to a word, an intention. How do you want to move into the rest of the day? Word could be calm. It could be breath. It could be acceptance. It could be strength. And then when you're ready and you found that word, just slowly blink the eyes open. Ready for the rest of your day. Namaste, everybody. Remember, little small tools, little movement snacks, breath work. That's it. Any questions, Marty?
Truly inspirational, Karen. Thank you so much. So yeah, I have a couple of comments. I tried not to say anything while we were doing it because I really wanted to be attuned to my body, but I so appreciated you reminding me to breathe. I found a couple of times as we were moving, my breath got a bit short and shallow. And so just that, again, like you mentioned at the end, just to learn how to breathe down to the diaphragm can be a huge part of that. And I just am noticing that all of those moves, if I pick and choose 2 or 3 of them, could take me no more than 5 minutes or 6 minutes a couple times during my day. It's just really a matter of intention and being able to realize the value and benefit of that.
Yes, I have a saying that I end most of my classes is what we practice gets stronger. So identify what you need and then just practice. If you want more strength, practice strength. If you want more love in your life, practice more love. It's just practice. And it
And I
doesn't
also,
have to be big.
I appreciate the simplicity of it. It's something that I can really engage with. And again, the whole idea of my breath and understanding my muscles and the tension and really zeroing in on my body is a shift, and it helps my brain. I mean, it's so meditative. When we came back, I already felt refreshed just in this demonstration. And so, I can imagine that in a quiet time when I'm kind of, inside my own energy and my own space, how valuable it would be in terms of that, also not for my body, but the meditative for my mind as well.
Yes, it's just the noticing, priming the brain to notice. Oh, my shoulders are up by my ears. Okay, so simple.
Wow, Karen, thank you so much. So grateful, valuable information, and good luck to you. Hopefully, we'll be able to talk again
Yeah,
soon.
so glad you're doing this, Marty. Great, great work. All right, bye-bye.